Hello, everyone. My name is Devin Anderson, and this is my presentation on my community security case analysis. My definition of community security is the measurement of a community's ability to live free from fear and want, and freedom to live with dignity. That's why I included the triangle on the right, which it came from the UN, and we learned about that earlier as far as human security goes. And the picture to the left represents what I think of as a community, and it could be a small or large group of people. However, the people generally share the same resources and may have similar ideas, may not, but share the same resources and live in the same area most likely. Um, but they share the same resources and same ideas and same goals, I should say. I chose Fairbanks, Alaska for this community security project, and Fairbanks is a large city. However, it's a diverse community, and there's a lot of smaller communities throughout Fairbanks, Alaska. What I identify as a community would be like a church group, or maybe UAF would be community, UAF alumni or current UAF students. So there's a lot of different communities, but overall, I believe Fairbanks is a community, and there's a lot of smaller communities within. And so you can see it's the third largest city in Alaska, which will be important for later on in this presentation. And yeah, I know you probably all know where it is on the map, but there it is on the map. So for community insecurities, one indicator is crime rates and violence. So the state of Alaska as a whole, it has the highest amount of crime per capita in the United States, of violent crime. And what I found to be the root cause analysis of these violent crimes was alcohol abuse. And according to the Addiction Center website that I found talking about Fairbanks and alcohol and drug abuse, Alaska state troopers state the residents of Alaska have a 1 in 20 chance of being the victim of a violent crime, and alcohol is the primary factor. So throughout this all of my research, whether it's violent crimes or another indicator that I'm going to bring up, alcohol pretty often ties into a lot of issues that individuals are facing that affect their families and that then affect the community as a whole. And I'll elaborate more on that. Another indicator is sexual assault, a form of a violent crime, however, slightly different. So Alaska has the highest rate of sexual assault in the nation. Now Fairbanks is the third largest city in Alaska, so a lot of the sexual assault cases are happening in Fairbanks. And on this Anchorage Daily News article that I read, there are numerous, about 30 stories that I read talking about sexual assault. Many of them are from Fairbanks, others are from other communities in Alaska. However, they all have similar stories and similar root causes. The root cause that I found was inadequate law, reporting resources, and education. For example, Lena Rexford is 23, who lives in Fairbanks. She was unsuccessful in an effort to receive help from several agencies, and it took her 1.5 years to receive a forensic exam after reporting to the Alaska State Troopers her incident and deciding that she did indeed need a forensic exam. It took her 1.5 years to get it. Ash, who is 25, was a victim of sexual assault, and she was afraid she wouldn't have a strong legal case, and she never reported it to the police. So this shows inadequate reporting resources, education, and inadequate law. There are many stories, and alcohol is also another root cause, but it's a root cause of a lot of issues. However, a lot of these victims too have been used to seeing this in their families and in their communities. And so it's a true community insecurity to see how they think it's normal or they don't know how to report it because they don't know what's right and wrong. And it took them a while to figure out that it is wrong. So sexual assault is a community insecurity and it happens in Fairbanks and it is a very prevalent issue affecting community security. Strategies that I've come up with are strengthened penalties for violent crime. It's a broad idea, however, I think it could do some good and help decrease the amount of violent crime in Fairbanks. Improve the reporting system to implement procedure to allow any alleged victims a forensic exam within 1 week of the report. Increase tax on alcohol and use that extra funds involved in sexual assault reporting and care. And I put this quote on the bottom because I say tax but not ban because over 109 communities banned the sale in 2016, but bootlegging efforts undermined the efforts to reduce the rates of addiction and abuse. In addition, my Jody Potts interview takeaways are right here. It was interesting to hear that without the VPSO in the community, there was a lack of reporting. Didn't really mean there was a lack of crime. And once the VPSO was placed in the community, crime cases spiked. It was interesting to hear that Alaska does not want federal government involvement, at least according to Jody Potts. And they were granted local jurisdiction, and this caused a lot of issues, including funding issues and much more. And then it was also very shocking to hear her story about the cars that she was given by the troopers and that they were so bad that they CO poisoned her. And that really traumatized her in a way and made her felt like her life didn't matter. And some of the things she was saying were very powerful and sad to hear. But real life issues, and those are my takeaways. And thank you for listening. Here are my works cited.